When it comes to first aid and safety giveaways that leave a lasting impression, there's one name you can trust: Safety Made. Looking for fast turnaround? Safety Made offers deep inventory and quick production times to keep your project on schedule. Want something truly memorable? Customize any of our first aid kits to create a unique gift that showcases your brand. Need it fast? Rush service is available for those last-minute opportunities and tight deadlines. And every kit is packed with trusted brand name components, delivering quality and confidence your customers will appreciate. Safety Made, your trusted source for first aid kits in the promotional products market. Visit Safety Made today and make safety your next great promotion.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Promo Perspectives. I'm your host, Anne Marie, and today I'm joined by John Griffin, Senior Supplier Account Advisor here at Sage. Hi, John.
Hello. John Griffin here. Just a little bit about me. I've been at Sage for almost 9 years now, and have an incredible team of supplier reps over here. And just wanted to assist suppliers, help suppliers in any possible way. Just knowing industry-wide type stuff, and so I'm looking forward to this, and hopefully we can continue this. And if you have any questions in the long run, just reach out to us, and we can cover those as well. So
awesome. So today I wanted to talk specifically about catalogs and what is the consensus? What's the word on the street? Have catalogs completely fallen off the face of the planet? Where are we at with that? So when you hear someone say catalogs are dead, what is your initial reaction?
Right off the bat, I don't think catalogs are dead. I think they've evolved. So the days, 20 years ago when catalogs were, printed, that's the constant thing suppliers are doing, sending out, distributors sending out. It's probably the 80-20 rule. It was probably 80% they're sending those out. Now it's kind of switched over to 80% digital type. Sending those out and stuff like that. So making it easier, more cost efficient, stuff like that.
Cool. So you would say that about 20% are still wanting that physical catalog to look at? Absolutely,
yeah. So from aspects of that, like you go into a store, this may be more retail, but when you're going into a store and you don't necessarily have enough time, or you don't have, you're not able to go through everything at that moment, you can typically grab one of the catalogs. So I always think that's good to kind of thumb through, see if there's products out there. A lot of it, though, I think under the age of 40 now is probably more digitized. The younger generations they prefer that, so they can easily go through it. They can jump. It's efficiency. They can update as needed, things like that. So.
Right. Yeah. And I think probably the accessibility or mobility, accessing it from anywhere, you're sitting at the airport, you can flip through it on your phone or on your laptop really quick versus having to pack the catalog with you and take it places. So I'm curious, from your experience, why were catalogs such an effective sales tool in the first place?
So what it was is it was a way for it was a way for distributors to go in there, mark pages. They were able to actually mark products they want, turn the page over and mail it out to where they could send that. So it was idea generation, where it's changed. So it was, here's the products, sending here's 5,000 different products out in the industry. Now it's kind of turned into is more customized towards that particular buyer.
Okay.
So I think a big way that, as most people in this industry know, it's not impulse buying for the most part. It's project based. So what it did, it has allowed, it allowed you to be able to go back and look at particular products that caught your interest, being able to present those to their buyers.
So you talk about how it's a little bit more customized towards that client and maybe curated. How can distributors use catalogs a little bit more strategically today?
Yeah, so I think the big part with that is instead of just sending a catalog over, and Sage even has an aspect of this, instead of sending a catalog over and saying, here's 5,000 water bottles, they're able to customize that specifically more towards their buyers. So they're able to go in there, and they're typically themed categories now. So for instance, jump into summer, or particular, I'm trying to think, like when it comes down to like, you're working in the hotel industry. Here's how you can apply these particular products rather than just, here's a bunch of products. Here's 10, 15 products that go specifically in your, with your business that you're promoting to.
That's awesome. That kind of reminds me of Amazon had sent out their own kind of catalogs. I remember being like the book fair. You can circle the products that you want and like give it to your parents. It's like your Christmas wish list.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Amazon sent one in the mail, and it kind of had some nostalgia going back through. But they had it categorized by like gifts for little girls or gifts for your dad, and by budget too. So I thought that was a really good way to kind of make the products that Amazon have a little bit more digestible for someone that's like, you have buying fatigue, it's around the holidays, you're stressed out, like I need a gift from my dad. So I like that. I like the curating these catalogs for industries or for seasons. So that's super cool.
Yeah, and just kind of to your point there is my daughter still does that. So it shows the importance of the printed as well. Christmas time's coming around and she gets it for, I don't even know the popular stores anymore, but like Toys R Us isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But
R.I.P.
my daughter's going through and just like circling everything in there, and it's pretty much ends up being the whole catalog.
Yeah,
but,
she's like everything.
Yeah, but it's so there is a need. I know people, even friends of mine on the supplier side that still send those out. And so I think it does have its cause, and it's a great way to, the catalog sitting on your desk, and someone's just kind of looking over like, oh, let me go through this again, compared to the, just kind of forget if it's like a digital email, something like that. So they're both causes, is just leaning more towards the digital side now.
Right. So, that's cool. So you mentioned Sage has specific tools along this line. So what is the Sage Catalog Studio, and how are distributors using it?
Yeah, so the Catalog Studio is, what it is they're templates that are made on the Sage side. So distributors can go in there and they can create presentations. They can create these digital catalogs. And essentially what it's turned into is like a flip book, a link, some easier way to go in there and just thumb through that. And the benefit of that is you can make immediate updates to it. You can adjust them and customize them to seasonal, type, within the seasons, of course, of, the year. And so I think the cost of it, they're not paying for the cost of printed catalogs to send out. So that's where it's really brought the attention of a lot of people kind of going that route now instead.
Yeah, totally. I think even just like you said, they can be changed immediately. I can't imagine, I'm on the marketing side of things. So honestly, some of this stuff is really insightful, but I can't imagine having a typo on the catalog and not being able to go and update that PDF like we do, so often today.
Absolutely.
So that is super crazy. So what are some of the other biggest advantages of creating these custom digital catalogs?
Yeah, so I think some of the biggest advantages is being able to do cost saving. Some of the other advantages are being able to go and make updates, on-demand updates, and kind of to your point, it's funny because I just read like a news insert and it was about like our Texas like educational system and how some of those catalogs were printed incorrectly, so now they're having to go back and like reprint them all.
Yeah.
And so I can't even imagine. But but yeah, I think you're able to personalize these more. You're able to break it down almost for the distributor side, like company store wise.
Cool.
So you're able to customize it towards specific buyers now. And so I think that's the what's drawing people to those is that they're so much more efficient. So I think that's a big part of it, and I think that's going to continue. And I also think like down the road, when I say evolving, is of course 5-10 years down the road, you're already starting to see like the AI side of things. So you're going to have what that's going to build is you're going to be able to build them faster, more efficiently, you're going to be able to do almost like small company store type catalogs. Here's the 10 best products for the running industry. So it's an idea generation. So I think that's the beauty of it all is that some of the big changes that used to just be like, here's the products. Now what it's doing is it's saying, here's how this can apply to your business.
Right.
So here's how this is going to make your business grow, specifically how you can use this product within your industry.
Cool.
So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. It's evolving, and it's a simplified way. Of course, with AI going a lot of different places, is it's staying with the industry, I guess. Per se. So
It's changing of the times.
changing the times. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you already answered my question on what the future of catalogs kind of look like. I wanted to ask one last question. If you had a piece of advice for anyone listening, from your side of things, from the questions that you get or the stuff that you're saying, what would be your advice to someone listening today?
I think it's follow your heart when it comes down to a lot of this stuff. You also want to pay attention to how technology is evolving, what different generations are asking for. So, you may have someone in the industry that's in their 50s or 60s that likes thumbing through the magazine, the catalog. You have your 20-year-olds that would rather do the digital side. So, I think it's adapting and being flexible to all generations. Because we're all heading towards the same goal. Success, helping each other out, and that just makes this place a better world in general. So
Yeah. I love that. I like that you are still allowing space for people who like the physical copies of things. I mean, even after COVID, when every restaurant turned to QR code menus, I find myself asking for the physical menu. I'm like, can we bring those back? Because, it gets to be overwhelming when you're staring at a screen all day and then you're just trying to order some food. So I do think that there is still space for some physical copies floating around.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what's good is like, I even think about it like this, like using myself as an example. Like I go to a store, I like something in there, it's like, I don't really like to shop, I guess, so it's one of those things where it's usually like sitting in the little lounge chairs next to the other 5 guys waiting on their wives. And
the husband waiting area.
Yeah, the husband waiting area, and just being able to like pick that up and be like, okay, well, I like some of the men's apparel or something to that extent.
Yeah.
I'll just check it out when I get home. So I'm able to still take that with me. So it's having that physically in front of you, and even when I get home, if it's sitting on the dining room table, I'll randomly just pick it up. So
Right,
so there is still a big desire, I guess, for both sides of it. So
Yeah, just covering all the bases.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys loved this episode. And yeah, have a great day.
Absolutely. Thank you.